You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it. I do deliver it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Good morning, Mitchell. Good morning, Maricela. Glad to have you with us. Got a few more on there. We'll check them out as we progress through the broadcast. But hey, we're celebrating today. Let's see if we get some help on our celebrations today. It is National Red Rose Day. I don't know. What do you think about that one, Miss Christie? National Red Rose? That's just wishy-washy on that one. So we can go with National Jerky Day. I've been called a jerk many times, so that'll fit in right there. National Loving Day? Okay, I guess we can. Peanut Butter Cookie Day. Yeah, I like peanut butter cookies, so we'll go with that one. Give me a glass of wine or something. I thought when I first saw that it was National Red Rose Day, I thought that they had the little doohickey over the E, right? So then it would be National Red Rosé Day. But I guess not. I guess we have to just stick with cookies today, so we'll go with that one. Let's see what the markets are doing. They've been down all morning. The Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 72.5 points. Looking at gold, the gold is up a little bit. The Nasdaq's down about 40 points. Oil is down $1.53. Now I have a understanding of why oil is down right now, and it's basically they've come out with some reports about how much oil is actually being produced in America right now, and Texas alone produces more oil than any country in OPEC other than Saudi Arabia. Texas alone. So we're going to probably start seeing more and more reductions in gas prices. But we can look right now, and unfortunately in Taxifornia, we've got an average of $3.86.2. AAA national average $272.3. And obviously, if you want gas, you can go to the oil-producing state of Hawaii, $3.65.3. Yeah, you're right. We don't see too much oil coming out of Hawaii, but they are at least cheaper than we are in Taxifornia. Mississippi is the cheapest, $2.31 is what they are paying. Now let's take a look at the bond market, because that's what's driving interest rates, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, is how can you increase your mortgage rate and add $211,000 potentially to your net worth. I'm going to discuss that one with you. But right now we're looking at the 10-year Treasury down just a tad, 2.12, still significantly better than Germany or Japan. They're basically Germany, Japan, Spain, all giving you nothing back. Invest for 10 years, you get absolutely nothing back. Probably not the best investment in the world, so you may want to be staying away from those 10 years. So that means people are going to put their money into... That's right, the U.S. 10-year Treasury. So that's why we are seeing that Treasury stay down. it is going to continue going down. I've talked to you about that in the past. Why is it going to continue going down? We've talked about this one. I brought some numbers in with me this morning because it's going to kind of give us an idea as why I'm going to suggest that you do what you do, why as your lending advisor they should be telling you these things. They probably are not going to say this to you. A lot of lenders are out there and they're just very, very transactional. They're not in the world of giving advice. Why is it that they're not in the world of giving advice? I can't answer that. They're just looking for what's in it for me today as opposed to what's in it for you over the long term, over the life of your loan. So we're looking at some of these numbers and just contemplating where is the market heading? And I've shared with you probably the end of next year, we're going to be seeing, we'll be told that we're in a recession. I know not everybody's looking at that, but end of next year. Now, we won't hear about it until 2021 because that's the way recessions are. But we're already seeing some of the telltale signs that economists are going to be looking at. They'll be talking about these later. We're going to talk about them now. The 10-year Treasury minus the 2-year Treasury. You look at those yields when they go negative. Generally, we're going to get a recession coming up in the not-too-distant future. So we saw that in 1980. We saw it again in 1990. We saw it again in 2000 and in 2009. All of those times where we saw a negative, but when we look at the 10-year Treasury yield minus the 2-year Treasury yield, well, we're basically at that point right now. We haven't got there quite yet, but we are close. The other area that we look at is what is employment numbers doing? How does employment predict recessions for us? Okay, so if you go all the way back to 1950, when we've looked at employment numbers bottoming out, the unemployment number bottoming out, then you start seeing as a recession follows that. Are we at the bottom right now? Hard to say. We're running at 3.6, 3.7 unemployment. There's not a whole lot of direction to go other than up. So we keep looking at that number as well. So that one there's telling us, you know, something, we may be looking at recession. Interest rates on the 30-year for the past 50 years, we look at that number, and it goes back to the early 70s. What is that telling us? Same thing. We start looking at interest rates taking a big drop on the 30-year Treasury. Tells us a little bit more about the recession world right there. But here's the issue. Even going into a recession, which we think we're going to see sometime next year, home prices continue to increase. Now, if we draw a line from 1975 all the way to present, and we take a 5% appreciation, we are right on course as we speak right now. You go all the way back to 1975, and yes, we did have some downturns in the mid-90s. We had the bubble in 07 or leading into 07, big drop in 2011. But we watch all of these different numbers. The home prices continue to increase. So over time, we still see an increase. So the 30-year interest rates for the past 50 years, we're still seeing increases in real estate. A lot of people don't want to see these things. They just kind of go in there and they say, you know something, I'm going to put my blinders on and I am not going to show, I'm not going to look. I don't want to know. But let's look at what's going on around the world. The global 10-year government bonds. Again, we're at about 2.14. I told you 2.12 is what we talked about just a minute ago. Canada 1.7. Norway 1.7. UK 1.1. Spain 1.0. And I told you earlier that we're seeing in many, many countries, they're basically at zero. So could we go lower? Maybe. But here's some of the things that I want you to understand, and this is something that only nerds will be looking at. I include myself in that category. These are the nerds that are looking at this. You look at the peak of the 10-year Treasury. Now, is the 10-year Treasury the same as mortgage-backed securities? Not quite, but they follow each other very, very close. So I'm looking at this, and we had in 1980, we got to a peak on the 10-year Treasury of about 16%. Went down and we hit the trough and then we went back to a peak in 1985, came back down, and hit a peak again. And we do that all the time. We've done that throughout history. So if you look at July 1980, we had a trough of 11.2. 1981, we get to a peak of 14.69. May of 1983, 10.12 is the trough. In 84, we get a 13.99 as the peak. August of 86, 6.95 was the trough. 10.23 in October of 87 was the peak. Are you getting a picture here? It's kind of hard when we're doing it, when I'm giving you the words eye view. But what's happening if I showed you the picture of what I am looking at on my screen right now, the peaks continue to decline from 1980 all the way to today. The troughs are lower all the way through there. So if I look at the peak right now, we're still seeing the same issue. So in July 9th of 2016, we got a trough of 1.37, and we went to a peak of 3.24. Now we continue to see that these troughs keep getting lower. Right now, can't you anticipate that we're going to see an interest rate below 1.37 when we get there next year, probably? Now, the issue becomes if we know that we're going down to less than 1.37, because history repeats itself, we have no reason to believe that after about 50 years it's going to change right now. The question is, how do you plan for that? How do you make money from that? How does that affect you? How does that affect your family? That's the big issue. And yes, we are going to talk about it because you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, got a lot to chat about today. We will talk about the markets. We're going to talk about 3 things to know in the housing market today. And do pay-for-delete letters work to clean up your credit report? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs. They've got the products. You just need to make the phone call. You've got the phone, so what the heck? Why not make that call? Find out what is in your best interest from an advisor, not a salesperson. So we are looking at the markets for you today. We look at the markets every day on your behalf. Dow Jones Industrial Average right now, as we speak, it's down 70 points. The NASDAQ is down 42 points. We're looking also at, well, let me get these numbers. I don't know why they don't want to come up for me today. We're looking at the S&P 500 down about 9.25 points. The 10-year or the NASDAQ, that one's down 43 points. 10-year Treasury down 2 points. Mortgage-backed securities, those are up 13 basis points, which means interest rates are down. Let's take a look and see why all of this is happening. That's the issue that we're wondering. Why do we get these activities? Why does the market move the way it does? Well, refinance applications were up 47%. Yeah, that's a big number because people are starting to hear the message that we're giving, that it might be wise for you to take action, but you have to do it in a specific way. And believe it or not, I'm going to show you that it is better for you to have a higher interest rate. You're not going to understand that unless you listen to the complete analysis here, and then you're going to get a real good understanding why lower interest rates are not always in your best interest. So refinance applications up 47%, almost 97% year over year, to the highest level since 2016. Applications to purchase home up 10%, are now up 10% from this time last year as well. Big improvement from the flat reading last week. The refinance share of mortgage activity increased from 42.2 to 49.8 of total applications. Adjustable rate mortgages, or ARMs, increased from 7.1 to 7.9%. Again, we can explain that to you as well. Average 30-year mortgage rate declined to 4.12. That's from the Mortgage Bankers Association. Tomorrow we will have the numbers from Freddie Mac. They're going to have a different number. Last week they were at 3.8 and a fraction right in there. Consumer Price Index measures inflation on the consumer level, showed that overall inflation declined in May. Headline reading was up 0.1% for the month. On a year-over-year basis, inflation decreased from 2% to 1.8%. That is good news. More purchasing power is the reasoning there. But again, that is the Mortgage Minute. Again, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs. They've got the products for you. Again, give me a call at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. So we have to lay out the scenario for you, and I'm going to share with you, I think this is a fairly common scenario. You tell me. So you've got a household, especially here in Southern California. They bought their house September 2016. What's that, about 3 years ago? They had a 3.5% interest rate. That is not abnormal for 2016, roughly 3 years ago, right? Got a car, $30,000 car, $572 payment. A Visa with a $350 payment, $10,000 is the balance on there. A MasterCard, $6,000 balance, $210 payment. Discover card, $4,000 balance, $100 payment. Best Buy at $2,800, $235 payment. Got a Macy's card of $1,500, $120 payment. All of those things are pretty basic. There's nothing too out of the ordinary right there. When we bought the house, we paid about $600,000, give or take a little bit. It's appreciated, and over the 3 years, we've paid down on the principal. So we've got a $377,000 loan balance. Principal and interest payment is $1,796 a month. Everything there sounds pretty good so far. Are you getting all of that? So it's pretty simple when we look at those numbers, and then we start looking and saying, okay, what if we go to a 75% loan? Well, these are all things that are all well within the world of what we could be doing. Now, if we did, and I want to say right here, what if we go to because this is the one that gets people all the time. This is what really throws a wrench in the program. I got a 3.5% interest rate. There's no way that I am going to increase that interest rate. Why would I want to do that? And we say, well, what if we go to 5% interest, which we know that we can do better than 5% on a cash out loan. But you know something, let's just say that that's what we're going to do. Right? If we say we're going to go to 5%, just doing a straight rate and term where we didn't change anything, well, we're going to start paying $231 a month more than we're paying right now. Now, do you really want to pay $231 a month more? No. Why would you want to do that? But remember, we've got all this other debt that we could potentially retire. We've got that car payment, $572. We've got the Visa, $350. MasterCard, $210. Discover, $100. Best Buy, $235. Macy's, $120. We have $1,587 in other debt. Now, what if we just get rid of that car payment? Right, that'd be nice. Who wants to get rid of their car payment? Okay, so we get rid of the car payment and roll that into a new loan. Now we've taken off a $572 payment, and we've now changed our monthly savings is down $180. So going from a 3.5% loan to a 5% loan, refinancing, taking some cash out. And remember, I told you, I'm sure you can get a lower rate than 5%. I just want to use that because it's a bigger number and it's believable. Right? But now our monthly savings on our household debt is $180. Well, if our household debts go down, what if we try and go to the next one? We go to retire that $10,000 Visa payment. Well, now we're going to save $477 a month. Let's get rid of the MasterCard. Okay, we're at $654 now we've saved per month. Okay, if that's good, let's get rid of the Discover card. $733 a month now saved. Now, what if we get rid of that Best Buy card? Now we're at $953 a month in savings. What if we get rid of Macy's too? $1,065 a month in savings. So what we've done is we've taken all of our debts, we've rolled those into a new loan, and we've gone from a 3.5% interest rate to a 5% interest rate, and we've saved $1,065 per month. $1,065 a month in savings. Who wouldn't want to do that? Doesn't that not make some sense to you to make that big savings right there? Now, you look and you say, okay, well, Ron, that's a good idea, but you've now taken us to a 30-year loan on items that may or not have been. The car wouldn't have been a 30-year loan for your car payment. We know that for sure. Making a minimum payment on the Visa probably would have been longer. Making a minimum payment on the MasterCard would have been longer. The Discover, Best Buy, Macy's. If you're going on minimum payments on all of those things, those are going to be a longer time period. But hey, you know something? We have the opportunity here to go ahead and get rid of all those debts. and bring our household payments, our household monthly payments down by $1,065. Now, there are other options we can do here, because what if we were to take and apply all of that $1,065 savings to your principal balance? Well, now you're going to take and make this into a 15-year loan. If you take all of that, and you're going to be able to pay the brand new loan is going to be paid off in 15 years. Think about that concept. And you're going to add $211,000. It's actually $210,951 is what's going to go on your net worth under your current situation. But if you refinanced, as I am suggesting, again, using an ultra-high interest rate of $307,696 is what is going to be the benefit to your net worth. Now, what about if you took a little bit more money out of the property? Yeah, you could take that out. Maybe you want to get a bigger bathroom. Maybe you want to redo the kitchen. Maybe you want to fix up the swimming pool. Maybe you want to do some of those things. Right? Those are all options that you have there that you could be doing, because you can actually take out a little bit more money from the property if you wanted to. Right? Do you see how this works? How you can actually save a boatload of money by getting a debt advisor? Now, your numbers are not going to be identical to the numbers I just shared with you. I get that. Right? What I want to show you is you've still got money that you could actually use to take more money out if you want to. Bottom line is, go for it. Do it. Let's make sure that you have take advantage of these opportunities and get in touch with a financial advisor, somebody that understands things. And I'm going to share with you what some of these options are. Now, why did I use a high interest rate? There is a very, very strategic reason that I suggest you going with a higher than market interest rate. And I'm going to tell you that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. We'll also chat a little bit, maybe we'll chat a bit about things to know in the housing market. And do pay for delete letters work to clean up your credit report? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. If you would like to get a free new tool that we have from Ron Siegel Radio, it's going to give you the equity position of your real estate on a monthly basis. You do nothing except get signed in. That's all you have to do is sign in, and you'll get a monthly email from us. It'll tell you what the value is appreciated to on your property, and then it's going to also get you some additional information, and you have the option of modifying that if you want to. All you need to do is text RE-value, no spaces, to 79564. Text RE-value to 79564. Put your name and address in the form there so we know what property to look at. If you have multiple properties, feel free to put multiple in there. If you want to share this tool with your friends, family, coworkers, feel free to do that as well, your choice. But the option here, the idea here is, 83% of our net worth in America is held in home equity at retirement. 83% of our net worth at retirement, home equity. Yet, we look at our 401k statements either annually or quarterly, maybe monthly. We look at our stock portfolios on a regular basis. We look at our bank statements on a regular basis. But our biggest holding we don't look at all. Text RE-value to 79564. Start making sure that you know exactly where the valuation is of your property on a regular basis and see if it makes sense for you to adjust. So in our real-time real estate segment, things to know in the housing market today, a lot is happening in the world, and it's having a direct impact on the housing market. So we need to chat about it. We need to understand that as well. The reality is some of it's positive, some of it may be negative, some we just don't know yet. The following three areas of the housing market are critical to understand. Number one is interest rates, building materials, and the outlook for an economic slowdown. Number one is interest rates. One of the most important things to consider when buying a home is the interest rate you will be charged to borrow the money. In our recent post, we posed the question, are low interest rates here to stay? The latest information from Freddie Mac makes it appear they are. We are currently at a 21-month low in interest rates. And I shared with you that we are going down even further. That's a key thing to remember when I go back to our analysis of that debt consolidation process that I was talking to you about a little bit earlier. So interest rates down as of last week, 3.82 was the Freddie Mac rate. Again, that's a perfect borrower and a perfect scenario. That's purchase money, great credit score, a lot of equity, maybe paying half a point, I think was the number last week. 3.82. Second item, building materials. Talk of tariffs could also affect the housing market. According to a recent article, the National Association of Home Builders reports that as much as $10 billion in goods imported from China are used in home building. Depending on the outcome of the tariff and trade discussions between several countries, there could be as much as 25% boost in the cost of building materials. Third item, an economic slowdown. In prior blog posts, we have talked about the idea of an economic slowdown. We also talked earlier in the broadcast today that we are looking toward a recession in 2020. So here's the idea. Economists have started pushing that projection past 2020 in some areas. 3 leading surveys indicated it may begin in the next 18 months. So we've got the Wall Street Journal survey, we've got the Duke survey, and the National Association of Builders surveying their markets. Bottom line, we're in a strong housing market. Wages are increasing, home prices are appreciating, and mortgage rates are the lowest they've been in 21 months. Whether you're thinking of buying or selling, it is a great time right now to be in the market. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment, again, brought to you by that new tool we have from Ron Siegel Radio, getting your information on a monthly basis on your real estate holdings. Text RE-VALUE to 79564, RE-VALUE to 79564. Put in a few pieces of information. The tool is free. The information is valuable. Just some my personal opinion being that I'm the one that got the tool for you. Obviously, I believe that it is very beneficial to you. So let's get back to our discussion of saving $1,065 a month by increasing your interest rate from 3.5% to 5%. Now, I went through all of those numbers in the last segment. I gave you where we came up with what we did, retiring $54,000 in debt and putting that right back into a new home loan. That home loan now is at $431,000 with a principal and interest payment of $3,009, but it cut $1,065 off of your total household debts. $1,065 off of all of those debts. Now that, beneficial, I would say. Now, why do I want to go with a higher interest rate than what the market rates are right now? Well, I've been chatting with you all morning that we foresee a recession coming. In recessions, we see the interest rates dropping. We've talked about having lower peaks and lower troughs since 1980 on the United States 10-year Treasury. Well, our last trough was July 2016 at 1.37. If history repeats itself, which it's done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about the last 8 times, going back to 1980, which that's almost 40 years, well, we're going to be seeing an interest rate less than 1.37. I told you it's going to go down to about 1.2 is what I project where we're going to be going to. That means that interest rates will be going down, home loan interest rates going down. So when the home loan interest rates go down, we want to be in position where we haven't spent a whole lot of money on getting that new loan. So when we go with a higher interest rate, that's going to be telling us that you're going to have some sort of, or a lender should be able to give you a credit so that your loan costs you absolutely nothing. Maybe a few $100s for an appraisal. But for the most part, it's going to cost you absolutely nothing to get that new home loan. Okay, so again, why do we want to have it absolutely nothing? Well, the benefit there is if you get a loan and you have a lower interest rate, but you pay the costs, does that benefit you or does that hurt you? So let's take a look at some of those numbers for you. And I'm going to just put some numbers into with today's pricing and see what the numbers might look like hypothetically. Again, we never want to look and say that this is exactly what your number would be because I don't know your scenario, right? I don't know what your credit scores are. I don't know what your debt-to-income ratio is. It's not going to be very high because we're going to be paying off all of your debts. Now, if there are debts in there that we cannot pay off, that's a different issue, but we need to be working on that as well. But let's take a look at this whole scenario and see what it would mean to you and to your family by just going through this process that I'm talking to you about. So if we go to a 5% interest rate, you're going to have really no costs involved at all. But what if we went to a 4.5% interest rate? That's going to be about $100 a month cheaper. Okay, so $100 a month, and I'm telling you that in 24 months, we're looking at somewhere being able to restructure this for you. And again, remember, I'm using high numbers right here. I'm going with the higher number because we want to make sure that your scenario fits in. The real numbers are going to be a little bit lower than what we've been talking about right along. Okay, so at $100 a month, you've got probably a 30-month break even just to get to where you're at. 30-month break even. Well, we're going to be refinancing in less than 30 months, so we don't want you to have to pay all those fees that would go into a loan because the break-even point does not make sense. You see, we want to keep it to the point where it makes sense for you now. When we talk to you in 2 years from now or the end of next year, whenever the rates get down to the right point that makes sense for you, and you know that we always monitor that. I just gave you the tool that's going to give you a monthly email with what the market is doing. And we already talked about the idea that home prices generally go up when the interest rates go down. So if interest rates continue their decline, and we think that the Federal Reserve is going to reduce interest rates probably twice more this year, here comes the whole concept is that when time is right, we're not doing a cash out refinance. So that's going to bring your pricing down even further. See, what we're looking to do is we're structuring with a game plan in mind. Now, most people look at it and say, well, here's what the interest rates are today, and I'll see you later. Well, that's not what we do at Ron Siegel Radio. We're looking at being a part of your area, your household board of directors. That household board of directors is the idea is to get a game plan in place for you long term, not just a short term set it and forget it and let you figure it out on your own. That's not what we do. We'll continue this conversation when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. Do pay-for-delete letters work to clean up your credit report? We're going to talk about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. Replays available, Ron Siegel 1. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area-trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com. Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 0186945 and 18667.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by our friends over at Blue Water Credit. When you're ready for that credit repair service, you're ready to get a new house, you're ready to get a new car, you have some needs in your life, Blue Water Credit, they're the ones that I recommend highly to be taking a look and following the law to get rid of those unintended items or incorrect items off of your credit report. Blue Water Credit, they know the law. The question here, Do pay for delete letters work to clean up your credit report? Consumers with subpar credit scores and derogatory marks on their credit reports are often encouraged to reach out to their creditors, specifically collection agencies, to see if they can work things out. Easy for me to say today. One way of doing this is by writing a pay for delete letter. So we're going to go over whether a pay for delete letter works and should you spend time writing one. A pay for delete letter is a correspondence that you send a creditor to have a negative mark removed from your credit report. It could be a delinquent collection due to a forgotten bill or one that was so huge you couldn't handle it. But whatever the case, the thinking behind a pay for delete letter is to gauge whether a debt collector is open to helping you repair your credit. Typically, these types of letters happen concurrently with attempts by the consumer to negotiate a debt, but here's the thing. Usually the creditor will require that your debt be paid in full or that you agree to a payment plan before they'll do anything to help. Why pay for delete letters are not reliable. So we talked to some consumer action centers, which provides free advice to consumers, including those dealing with collection agencies, to see if pay for delete letters actually work. Lori Silverman, director of the Consumer Action Center, said they are simply not a reliable option when all creditors want is their money. They'll say anything to get paid. In essence, a pay for delete letter may sound like a great resource for consumers looking to clean up their credit reports and raise their credit scores, but there's no guarantee they will work. It really just depends on how generous the creditor feels like being. They're not obligated to do anything for you. Sending a nice letter to a company you're indebted to may work in some cases, but generally sending these letters is probably a waste of time. How to handle a debt collector. So one way to get them to back off is to send a drop-dead letter. A drop-dead letter is written notification from you to any collection agencies that are harassing you. It informs them you're aware of your rights under FDCPA and that you're requesting they stop contacting you about a given debt effective immediately. This doesn't mean the debt will go away. It won't. But it could mean a little less aggravation in your life. 3 other ways to deal with debt collectors. Ask for a debt validation letter. Debt collectors are required to send you a written debt validation notice that explains what you owe. Know your rights with debt collectors. If you legitimately owe a debt, you have specific rights under federal law. Consider whether you should pay a debt. You may revive the statute of limitations if you pay an old debt. Be careful of that one. Might want to consult an attorney. All that being said, the best way to keep a clean credit report is to always pay your bills, put together a budget, and to save more. That is the whole concept right there. Pay your bills, save more, do the right thing. Those are all the issues that we chat about on a regular basis here on Ron Siegel Radio, trying to get you just to understand what's going on, what your rights are, what your obligations are in any given market. So we've been chatting this morning about how to modify your budget, modify your household, what options you may have to try and save some money to increase your net worth, maybe reduce your debt load, debt time. There's all kinds of options in here as to what you may or may not want to do. You know, I frequently talk about the idea of what would it mean to save on that debt. Now, we talked about the idea of saving $1,065 a month by retiring that $54,000 in debt, going to a higher interest rate, making those changes, right? Those are all options that you have the ability of doing through this entire process. You also have the option of taking some additional money out of your home to see if maybe you wanted to do some home improvements. Those are options that are there as well. So think about all these different items, all these different plans that you can do. What do you want? What is your goal? Right? Do you want to take some money out? Do you need to have a little extra working capital to fix up your house, if you've been wanting that new kitchen, those are all options that are in there that will allow you to do these. When we went through this process, we determined that there's still about $40,000 in equity that you could still take out of your property and still retire all that same debt that we talked about. Right? So those are all options that are in there, and still we're looking at saving money, putting more money into your net worth. Now, I talked to you about the idea of net worth earlier, right? 83% of the average American household, 83% of their net worth is in home equity at retirement. Why aren't we planning for that? Make sure you understand exactly what money you have, where the money is, how to access it. Get that free tool that we've been talking about all morning simply by texting RE-VALUE to 79564, RE-VALUE to 79564, so you can get that free tool. It'll send you that email once a month. We adopt your mortgage, your household, your information from you just to help you get more data, be better educated. And that's why I ask you every day to set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today, and of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Times that I tried